The FJ45V is one rare four-wheel drive. Alan Gray and his nephew Andrew Gray have accepted the challenge to bring this old girl back to life. How will Alan work alongside a mechanic 50 years his junior? Will they succeed in restoring this Land Cruiser? And all within budget.
Oh, what's going on here?
No.
You're having a snooze.
Oh, no, just having a bit of a look around. What's happening?
Oh, just thinking maybe we should get stuck into the drivetrain today.
Just wanted to check that vibration.
Yeah.
Where do we start?
Oh, I was thinking the tail shaft thing has got to come off anyway.
We'll shove it up a noise.
No worries.
I'll close up my little bed here and we're right.
Good to go, mate.
The boys get the FJ up on the hoist so they can check out the tail shaft.
So you reckon the noise coming in was that tail shaft unis? Just check the front one there, mate. Oh, yeah.
quite bad.
Back on shot too. Okay, so tail shaft's off.
It's immediately obvious there's a problem with the tail shaft uni, so it's time to take her off.
Have a look at that.
Beautiful. When we were coming in the workshop earlier, we noticed a bit of a knocking noise coming up the driveway and also a vibration when we were out in the road. We've checked the unis on the tail shaft, and as you can see, this one's absolutely stuffed. If this wasn't rectified, it could be potentially very dangerous to the occupants of the vehicle. If the tail shaft happened to fall out, all sorts of interesting things can happen. Also, it can, if left unchecked, it can cause damage to the diff pinion bearings or also the transfer case bearings in the gearbox.
Okay, so the universal joints are faulty, there's no doubt about that, a bit of play there. Engagement here is pretty good. Also, it's in phase, which is important. These two yokes have got to be in line. Not like that, out of phase, otherwise it can impose terrible strain on the diff. So always make sure that they're in line. You know that as well as I do. Right, so we'll take her over and put some universal joints in it. If I can get hotshot into gear with a tail shaft, I've got two brand new Japanese universal joints here. Dying to put them in. They were sloppy and we need some decent unis in. Hey, come over here, don't be shy. Wowie. Decent big tail shaft. Yeah, decent unis, so I'll get you to give me a hand here. This looks rather gruesome sometimes when you're sort of hitting it a bit, but I don't know any other way of doing it. There's a special service tool, but it doesn't seem to work properly.
Alan takes the old uni joints off so that he can replace them.
Okay, the circlips are out. Okay, so we've got some decent Japanese universal joints. It does make a difference. I've seen joints chop out in 5,000 kilometres. We've got to be a bit careful here. What you've got to watch is that you don't get these needle rollers jammed as you're pushing them in, because this is flopping around over the joint and my mate's a bit unsteady on the vise here. So what you've got to do is make sure that that's pushed right through there, and because the grease nipple's there, if you had it on the fat side you can't get it through far enough. So you make sure that the grease nipple goes on the thin part here. So I'll hold that in there, so they're all nicely in there. I know they're in place. This is tapered, see how that's in a bit there, bigger, wider there. So when nobody's looking, I just shove my screwdriver in there. That makes up that little bit of a space. And if he tightens it up, Bob's your uncle. Sometimes I give it a bit of a tighten with a bit of it with a hammer just for fun. Okay, circulars are right in. That feels nice. What do you reckon, mate?
The only way that'd get any better is if I did it myself.
No, I knew there was going to be something. You can't just say good on you, mate. We'll just thread that in there nicely. If it doesn't go in, we're in real trouble. There we go. Yeah, a little bit tight, just a bit of a hit either way. That is absolutely fantastic. What do you reckon, Maestro?
Beautiful.
We just finished the tail shaft universal joint. Sometimes if the flange, you've got problems with flange, you've altered the tail shaft from one vehicle to another, Terrain Tamer supply a multi-drill flange, coarse spine or fine spine. In this case, we've got one of each at the front tail shafts, but that's a very handy thing to have, and they're available over the counter. No problem at all. We're using a new tail shaft on the front because it came without a tail shaft, and we're having to use a multi-drill for our purpose here. Those tail shafts are Japanese and very well made. All right, so what do you reckon? We'll call it a day?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Right, let's clean up and get underway.
For all your driveline parts requirements, visit terraintamer.com.